Hello everyone, it's DA here, and today I'm giving you a detailed Colossus breakdown. There is no point in showing you a build if you don't understand how to evolve with it or create one suited to your playstyle. So with that said, let's begin. So why would you use the Colossus Javelin to begin with? Well, the Colossus is a masterful juggernaut. It is heavy, strong, and has a high survivability. It can stand tall in the middle of battle and also has the direct approach. The Colossus is like a space marine from the Warhammer series, the Titan, the Anchor, the Thunderstone. This is the javelin you pick when you don't give a shit. You use the Colossus because you want to be able to stand on your own, and that is the main purpose of this javelin. This javelin is for those who like to carry teams as well. For those who like to be the centerpiece or the heavy lifters, this will be the rook on the chessboard. And when you play as a Colossus, you feel powerful and sometimes feel alive. The Colossus, just like the rest of the javelins, comes with its own unique moves and its own abilities. In terms of mobility, the Colossus is not slow, but feels weighted due to its slow maneuverability. It uses a rocket boost mobility, which also lets you hold down the jump button and extend your reach on every single burst. Maneuverability is its curse. The Colossus cannot do a quick turnaround, so it is what makes you feel slow all the time, not just about running. But once you understand this logic, you will learn to time your turns when you fly, when you're running, when you're swimming, or even when you're fighting certain enemies that seem to flank you. For defensive moves, everyone else has a dash or a teleport. The Colossus brings out its own shield to deflect incoming damage. The higher and stronger your gear level is, the shield will be able to sustain more damage. Now I will say beware though, this shield only blocks projectiles or damage in a cone-shaped form, which means enemies that flank you or shoot you from the back will still be able to damage you. Now let's go to the gear items. The Colossus has the Assault Gear and the Support Gear. Assault Gear is a straight-on offensive gear. You have two of them, which lets you combine for really amazing and cool damage. For my Zeus here, I am using the Lightning Coil and the Flamethrower. This lets me proc combos very often and also deal extra damage to adds and heavy enemies. You can also use the Shock Coil if you like to hover around and rain down lightning. That will also be another good one to pick up. For my support gear, I am using the Shield Pulse instead of Battle Cry. For some people, you like Battle Cry because it lets you taunt enemies and draw aggro, but I'm using Shield Pulse because it suits my playstyle of being the Anchor. Shield Pulse will let your Colossus buff the shields and replenish allies at the same time. In areas at the first stronghold, you will need those shields because let's say your team is suffering from acid from the scorpions, or you're on the platforms and that thing is zapping off the shields. Casting Shield Pulse will replenish those things. So this rallies up your allies and also lets them go a lot longer. So you just go around and whenever you see your teammate in the middle of a battle or about to get swarmed, just buff them with the shield and it will encourage them to play aggressively. Now when it comes to melee and the rest of the abilities, I advise you to just use detonators for your melee. Detonators will have a star or X-shaped icon next to those abilities, and right here you see that whenever I stomp enemies, it is so easy because I'm able to detonate almost every single thing I stomped. A lot of times it is quite easy to prime enemies, however detonators are often scarce. So having a detonator handy that is not attached to your gear slot means you can easily just jump around and smash things. For your ultimate, you can wait for the target to get primed before you fire it, or you can equip a primer in one of your gear slots and then prime the target before you cast your ultimate. This will increase your damage output, and for mod components, I personally like to build for combos and resilience. So you can see the mods that I have are for elemental damage, increased combo damage, some resilience and some health, and of course I have the weapon damage as well. Now in terms of tips and tricks, you can fly past difficult targets or enemies by just holding down your shield. Your shield is deployed and it will be your ultimate defense. So don't forget about those things. What the Colossus lacks in maneuverability or mobility it makes up for in raw power and resilience. It is tanky and also great with mobs. A Colossus doesn't back down when allies run into battle. You have to be that anchor, which means at times you may have to be the one at the very front. As a Colossus main, I know one thing that we don't do. We don't call for backup. We only call for cleanups, and that is just how the Colossus play. That is it for the Colossus guide. Expect guides for the Ranger Javelin, the Interceptors, and the Storm Javelin in the future. Thanks for watching. It's DA signing out. I'll see you in the next one.